I know the anguish that made you sigh deeply before our meeting. This is not an earthly coincidence. Do not ignore what your spirit is feeling now, for an urgent message has been set apart and sent directly from my heart to your life tonight. I prepared this moment because I heard the cry of your soul when the silence of your room seemed unbearable. You have been asking for a sign. You have been begging for an answer that will bring relief to the whirlwind of fears that tries to steal your hope. I want you to be absolutely certain that this is a message of reflection based and grounded in the Word of God and the principles and foundations of the Holy Bible for your spiritual strengthening and growth. I am the Creator of all things, the one who searches hearts, and I know exactly the measure of the weight you have been secretly carrying. Trust me and accept the invitation to remain attentive, for I will reveal to your spirit the reason for so many recent trials and deliver the key to your inner liberation. If this Word of God is already touching the depths of your being, share it with me as an act of faith. Leave a comment with your name, the country, state, and city from which your soul receives this embrace, and what time it is where you are right now. Let your pain turn into a cry and write in the comments as a true outpouring. Lord my God, I am here. I signed up because I love you and want to hear you. Allow your presence to be sealed in this place of peace. Transform your gratitude into a gesture of support. Join us with an open heart and activate the awakening of your soul to receive my daily guidance. Stay with me until the last word of these revelations, for I will give a clear answer at the end. A sacred phrase will be whispered to your spirit, and whoever declares it will receive prophetic blessings released in faith upon their entire family. The book of Psalms in chapter 46 powerfully declares that I am your refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. Today I envelop your weary heart with my peace, but the contrary wind that has been blowing over your life in recent dawns hides a purpose you haven't yet understood. There is an invisible protection operating amidst this chaos. What does your soul most need me to soothe today? Write your request with faith and seal this first step by declaring our word of victory in the comments. Awaken. I feel the pain you hold in your heart as dawn approaches and sleep eludes you. I know the weight of the silence in your home, that moment when weariness invades your mind and tears roll down in secret, without anyone around you noticing the storm you are facing inside. Many times, you feel as if you are carrying the whole world on your shoulders, trying to maintain the strength to support those you love, while your own spirit cries out for help and rest. The sacred word in the book of Psalms, chapter 34, declares that I am near to the broken-hearted and save the crushed in spirit. This is not just an old promise. It is my reality acting in your life at this very moment. When you thought you were suffering alone, I was there, gathering each of your anxieties. I am the comforter of your soul and the anchor that keeps you standing when your own strength seems to be exhausted. Your pain has not gone unnoticed by my omniscient eyes, and your healing and restoration process has already begun in the celestial realms. The burden you have been carrying is not your final destination, but a stage of shaping. However, there is something profound about the estrangements and losses you have recently experienced that you need to understand immediately, so that the cycle of lamentation ends once and for all. There is a reason for the doors that have closed, something that will change your perspective on your past. If this spiritual embrace brought any solace to your troubled heart, leave your confirmation by liking this message of love. Join our path of faith, accepting the inspiration to subscribe to this refuge to continue hearing my call, and share this revelation with a soul that also needs light amidst the darkness. Before I show you the truth about your deliverance, speak to me intimately. What is the oldest wound that still hurts in your memory? Surrender this pain into my hands and seal this moment of peace by writing our new word in the comments. Consolation. On this night of revelation, where your weariness intersects with my provision, I want to extend a sacred invitation to you, born from our intimate encounter. If it is possible for you, and only if you feel peace in your soul to do so, transform the gratitude that fills your heart into a seed of love for this channel. Consider my infinite care and the love of my beloved Son Jesus, and support this work using the link in the description of this video and also in the pinned comment. There you will find the place of light where your contribution of affection can be deposited and consecrated directly before me, the Creator of all things. You can support with any amount, my beloved daughter, and always remember an unshakable truth. Offer only what fits lightly in your heart. I receive your intention with eternal love. Do not worry about human measure. What matters is the sincerity of your spirit, for what you consider little on earth is immense for the one who receives and for celestial purposes. Those who contribute any amount with a true heart, I beg you not to forget to leave your beautiful name and city along with the offered seed. We will do this because, on the first day of the following month, in a unique and very special video on our Divine Love, the Voice of God page, your name will be remembered, mentioned, and raised to heaven in profound gratitude through prayer. For it is written, "A generous soul will prosper, and whoever waters others will also be watered." Book of Proverbs, chapter 11, verse 25. Every offering made in faith, even in the midst of your darkest night, is a living seed before me, your Lord, and I will not fail to bear fruit. I see your struggles and your secret offerings, and I reward your faithfulness in the sight of all. Stay until the end of this message, because I still want to touch your heart with my voice. What the dawn tried to hide is about to be illuminated before your spirit. There is a great deliverance that has recently occurred, and you need to understand from what invisible danger I rescued you. If hope has begun to pulsate within you again, seal this communion by lovingly enjoying this video. Feel my gentle call to enroll in this journey of faith and share this message with a heart that also fears the darkness. Tell me, intimately, what binds you to wanting to control what you have already surrendered into my hands? Free yourself from this shackle and declare your trust by writing our new word in the comments, seed. I feel the confusion that has taken over your mind when some doors slammed shut and silence replaced the answers you so desperately awaited. Loneliness weighed heavily. Your chest tightened. You thought I had forgotten you amidst your valley of tears. But that sudden emptiness was not a punishment, much less a sign of abandonment. It was my love forming an insurmountable barrier around you. My word, in the book of Isaiah, chapter 43, guarantees that when you pass through the waters, I will be with you, and when you pass through the rivers, they will not overwhelm you. When you wept for the loss of bonds and opportunities you considered essential, you did not realize that the waters of that river were poisoned and about to drown your peace. The silence that has settled in lately was my hand acting as an invisible wall. I was cutting connections that would bleed your future and blocking steps that would lead you to an emotional precipice. Distancing myself was my exact response to that desperate prayer in which you asked me to remove from you all evil disguised as good. You survived this secret storm, my daughter. Your soul was spared even though it hurt. However, the soil of your heart, now cleansed of illusions, needs new nourishment to avoid drying up in the coming lonely dawns. There is something precious that I have set aside to walk with you every day, a constant sustenance that is about to be delivered to guide your weary mind. If this divine truth has brought relief to your inner self and lifted the weight of guilt and doubt from your shoulders, leave your like as a living gesture that your faith has been rebuilt. Inspire your heart to subscribe to this celestial shelter of ours so as not to miss the next whispers of life, and share this light with someone who suffers from not understanding the invisible deliverances that life has given them. May I ask you something in the intimacy of our communion? What is the painful memory that still tries to steal your joy when the past tries to return? Free yourself from this captivity now, and confess your safety by writing our new word in the comments, shield. Your heart, though wounded by past struggles, is now cleansed and ready to bloom again, like fertilized earth after a long storm. If your heart desires to go deeper with me, to explore this peace that has reached you today, I have left you a gift in the form of a journey that I wrote with much love and care for all my beloved daughters and sons. It is the digital book called Divine Love Devotional, The Voice of God. It was prepared to accompany you day after day in silence and intimacy, as constant nourishment for your soul in moments when loneliness tries to return and the early morning brings doubts. Access to this balm is also in the link in the description of this video and in the pinned comment. And if today it is not possible for you to access this gift, do not condemn yourself. Remain with me here, because I will also sustain you with this message that we are building, and so that your heart may rest and not be confused in the process of receiving this blessing. After you register calmly and attentively, access to the book will arrive in the email you registered. He will come with all the right instructions, step by step, to begin your daily readings without haste, as if you were drinking from a serene spring. For it is written, "The Lord will guide you continually, and satisfy your soul in dry places, and strengthen your bones, and you shall be like a watered garden." Book of the Prophet Isaiah, chapter 58, verse 11. Accept this celestial care and breathe deeply. I am taking care of your anxiety, drying your old tears, and preparing your spirit for a blessed new beginning. However, there is a radiant promise about your coming dawns that will completely change your vision of the future. The darkness has already begun to dissipate. If this divine caress has brought hope to your weary inner self, leave your like as a sign that life has begun anew within you. If you feel love pulsating, seal your journey by subscribing to this sanctuary of peace and share this light with a heart that needs daily guidance. Answer me with the sincerity of your silence. What is the first thing your spirit longs to ask for when you close your eyes at night? Surrender this longing and strengthen your faith by writing our new word in the comments: food. I know the exact moment you open your eyes in the morning and, even before your mind fully awakens, a heavy sigh escapes your chest. The feeling that another day of intense struggles is beginning tries to steal your peace with your very first breath. The long winter of your soul seemed endless. The silent nights in which anxiety whispered that nothing would change left deep marks on your ability to dream. But I come to tell you, with the infinite sweetness of a father, that the darkness has reached its limit, imposed by me. In the Book of Lamentations, chapter 3, verses 22 and 23, my word assures us that the Lord's mercies are the reason we are not consumed, because his mercies never end. They are renewed every morning. Apply this sacred truth to the pain in your heart right now. The affliction that has suffocated you for the past few months has lost its power. The tears that flooded your spirit have served their purpose of washing away your wounds, and the long night of suffering has officially ended in the spiritual realm. I am decreeing a new dawn of hope over your home, where my divine light will dispel the fog that prevented you from seeing the future. You can now breathe a sigh of relief, for the time of merely surviving and enduring abandonment is behind you. However, I perceive that, even in the face of this radiant light, there is an invisible root of fear that still tries to hold you back. For you to fully enjoy this new time, there is an old emotional bond that needs to be broken immediately. If you feel the warmth of this new dawn warming your wounded soul, leave your affection in this message as a hug back to your Creator. Nestle in this shelter of love, welcoming the inspiration to subscribe so you don't miss my next directions, and spread this renewal by sharing this encouragement with someone who has forgotten what it's like to see the sun shine from within. Tell me, in the sacred stillness of your thoughts, what is the dream you let die in the darkness that you wish me to resurrect today? Deliver this forgotten seed into my hands and declare its rebirth by writing in the comments our new word, dawn. I know the icy shadow that tries to envelop your thoughts when the world around you falls silent and the weight of uncertainty becomes almost palpable. It's a fear that often has no name, but possesses an overwhelming weight. It tightens your chest and makes your breath short, whispering that tomorrow will only be a repetition of your past pains. I sense when your spirit shrinks from challenges, feeling small and incapable of facing the storms that arise on the horizon of your life. Often, this fear tries to convince you that the time of your victories has passed, and that now only acceptance of pain remains. But I, your Father, am here to break these invisible chains that bind your steps and paralyze your faith. For it is written in the second letter to Timothy, chapter 1, verse 7, that I have not given you a spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and of self-control. Understand well this profound truth that I wish to engrave on your heart tonight. If this fear that anguishes you and prevents you from sleeping did not come from me, it has no legal right to remain in your life. It is an invader trying to steal the inheritance of peace, that I have prepared exclusively for you. When you feel insecure about the future of your family, about your health, or about your own ability to start over, remember that my strength dwells in the center of your soul. I am now pouring a balm of courage upon your emotional wounds to replace all anguish. Fear loses its hold the moment the light of my word illuminates the darkest recesses of your being. You are not a slave to fear, but a daughter of divine courage. However, so that you may walk with authority on this new path, there is a truth about your origin that the world has tried to erase and that I need to reaffirm now. If this breaking of chains has brought new breath to your weary spirit, leave your sign of gratitude by savoring this moment of liberation. Feel my loving invitation to enroll in this spiritual refuge and share this deliverance with a soul still imprisoned by the dread of tomorrow. Answer me in the depths of your silence. What is the greatest fear you wish to fully surrender into my hands today? Release this burden and seal your victory by writing our new word in the comments. Freedom. I feel it when you look in the mirror of your own soul and can no longer recognize the hopeful woman you once were. The accumulated disappointments over so many years, the harsh words you heard from those who should have loved you, and the countless sacrifices you made to support your family have created a thick fog over your essence. You came to believe, in the bitterest hours of your weariness, that your time to shine, to be loved and cared for had passed, often feeling like a dry leaf forgotten by the autumn winds. But the book of the prophet Isaiah, in chapter 43, verse 4, declares with a love that transcends eternity, "Since you were precious in my sight, and honored, and I loved you, I will give men in exchange for you and peoples in exchange for your life." Bring this absolute truth to the center of your heart right now. Those earthly voices that diminished you, that made you feel invisible, old, or disposable, have no authority to define who you are. When you feel inadequate and exhausted by the heavy demands of daily life, I see a priceless jewel being polished by time. Its value has not diminished with the passing years, nor with the scars that struggles have left on your history. You are my beloved daughter, chosen and set apart for higher purposes, and your identity has never been tied to what you have lost, but to the divine breath I placed within you from your mother's womb. The redemption of who you truly are has already been accomplished in the spiritual realm, and your invisible crown has been returned to your brow. However, now that your true identity has been restored and the lies of the world have lost their power, a new path of peace opens before you. There is a very specific direction, a final comforting piece of advice about your next steps, which I will reveal to your heart to guide your feet in the days to come. If the restoration of your worth has warmed your wounded spirit, leave your like as a seal of love and reconciliation with yourself. Welcome my sweet invitation to join this heavenly sanctuary, staying close to my voice. And share this truth with another woman who has also forgotten how precious she is. Before I give you the final direction, confide in me in your heart. What was the biggest lie about your own ability that you decided to abandon today? Hand over this heavy baggage to me and seal your restoration by writing our new word in the comments. Precious. I feel the fatigue in your mind after so many years of making decisions alone, carrying the responsibility of being the pillar of your home and trying to foresee the dangers of tomorrow. You have been walking exhausted, feeling the weight of each step, afraid of failing in the next choice, as if the ground beneath your feet were uncertain and fragile. The weariness of always being the strongest, the one who solves everyone's problems around you, has drained your secret joy. But the book of Proverbs in chapter 3, verses 5 and 6, instructs your soul with a liberating command. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make straight your paths. Apply this age-old truth to your daily journey from now on. Today I lift from your shoulders the heavy burden of having all the answers ready. The new path of peace I open before you does not require you to be unwavering or without doubts. It only requires you to hold firmly to my invisible hand. I will be the constant lamp that illuminates your decisions. When anxiety tries to dictate the pace of your life and haste knocks at the door, you will not run. You will walk with the profound serenity of one who knows that God himself paved the road. Your next steps will no longer be taken in the darkness of uncertainty, for my inner voice will be your most faithful guide. If this divine relief has lifted the weight off your shoulders right now, leave a like as a visible sign of trust in my perfect guidance. Embrace my loving invitation to enroll in this path of faith, ensuring you don't miss my upcoming instructions for your life, and share this true peace with someone who is also exhausted from making all the decisions without help. Tell me in the sincerity of your heart, what is the difficult decision you will fully entrust to my wisdom tonight? Rest that doubt in me, and seal your surrender of faith by writing our new word in the comments compass. Your soul traversed this profound encounter not by chance, but because I guided it here. You arrived with a fragmented heart, searching for a sign of hope amidst the chaos, and I enveloped you with the fullness of my eternal love. Every silent tear shed in the early morning, every paralyzing fear of the future, and all the painful lies about your true worth were confronted and shattered by the unchanging truth of my word. Your spirit, once bowed down by the weight of loss, now breathes the pure air of my unwavering peace. I have cleared the terrain of your emotions, broken the chains of anxiety, and placed a new celestial strength within your heart. You are no longer helpless in the dark valley. You are a woman shielded by my grace, restored by my forgiveness, and guided by my Holy Spirit. Keep in the innermost recesses of your soul the absolute certainty that I am the God who works for you even in your silence. The struggles that yesterday tried to destroy your mind are, from now on, the sacred stepping stone to your greatest victory. And to definitively seal this healing in your story, I have arrived at the moment I promised you in the first breath of our journey. I now whisper to your heart the spiritual key that will open the doors to your great transformation. Declare with faith, writing this exact phrase in the comments as your response of surrender to heaven, I can do all things through him who strengthens me. This is your unbreakable truth from this divine moment on. However, our intimate journey does not end here. There is a profound mystery about the invisible provision that is already on its way to your home. A revelation about a door of prosperity and stability that I need and will deliver to you in our next message. You remain connected to this inexhaustible source of life. Continue immersing yourselves in my presence and listening to my voice through the messages on this channel's playlist. For through each anointed word I will continue to sustain and protect your family day after day. My peace goes with you.